and I lived happily ever after. Till my once upon a time started again. What a new concept. I just learned a new concept. So I was learning that, sort of like the idea, we've all heard this before, that on your wedding day, and they lived happily ever after until the next morning, and their once upon a time started their married life. And it has struggles and challenges and battles, and we all seem to get really upset that that happily ever after doesn't last. It becomes something else. It becomes a new story with a beginning once upon a time. It's like starting a new job. The beginning of the new job. Yay, I have a new job. And once upon a time, I started my new job. And then comes the struggles and the challenges and the battles and all the things that we're going to do. And that new job is maybe not what we thought. And like, what happened to my happily ever after? I got the job and the career and the things I was looking for, right? And then, I don't know, we end up miserable or something. Our expectations aren't met. We, become disappointed, disillusioned, and we start looking for happily ever after somewhere else, right? So I was thinking and learning, so how do we get that happily ever after to last longer? Well, I was thinking, like this morning, I got up. I started my new day. Once upon a time, Rhonda woke up to her new day. And she started her wonderful new day with a great cup of coffee. Of course, start your day with a great cup of coffee. And then she went and did the life things that she needed to do. Right? We all have stuff we need to do. And maybe it's going to work. Right? And at the end of that work shift, it's almost at the end of the work shift, you could also say, and I lived happily ever after. Right? I accomplished whatever I needed to do, and that's the end, happily ever after. Or in the evening when you're, having that nice cup of peppermint tea to wind down, unless you're doing the turmeric tea, because it's good for inflammation. And, you're winding down and heading for bed. And you can end your day with, and Rhonda lived happily ever after. Right? And you have that wonderful moment just before you go to bed and go to sleep, and even after you wake up sometimes, and I lived happily ever after. But but the next morning you wake up and you start a new day. You start a new once upon a time. It's an ongoing thing every day. You can have certain happily ever afters. A wonderful moment comes in your life, and you could say, and I lived happily ever after. Or maybe you had a deep, dark challenge and a battle, and you were going against the monsters and the demons. And then you came to a point where, it worked itself out, or you worked it out. You did what you needed to do to make that situation better. And then you could sit back and, say, I lived happily ever after. Of course, we all know it's until the next round, right? The next battle, the next struggle. Because that's life. Life circumstances, they keep happening, whether we like it or not. But if we really understand that it's just a new once upon a time story, with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and whenever it ends, you just go, and that's the end of the story. And she lived happily ever after. I really like this new concept. And so, today, when I cuddle under my great big, wonderful, heavy blankets, make me feel so soft and secure, that's what I'm going to say. And Rhonda said goodnight to the world. And she lived happily ever after. Have a super day. Bye for now.